I've now put 500 rounds through the Shield Plus Carry Comp, and it did not shoot the way I expected. I've got some thoughts. Let's talk about whether or not this gun is actually worth your money for concealed carry. This video is sponsored by Eclipse holsters. These holsters are insanely customizable with tons of different patterns, colors, belt clips, and aluminum washers. They also have some really cool custom accessories to go with your holster. I've been to their factory and seen their process firsthand. They care so much about the quality of every holster that they make. The best part is that your holster will ship in just 3 business days or less. If you want a custom holster with 0 wait time and a lifetime guarantee, then check them out at eclipseholsters.com. What is up, guys? Will Workman here with Modern Protector, here to give you the skills, the tools, and the mindset to protect yourself and your family. So a couple months ago, I did an unboxing and first impressions video of this gun. I told you guys then when I was shooting the gun that there wasn't a lot that I could say about the way it shoots because I only put a few mags through it at the time. You really can't tell much about a gun just putting like 20 rounds through it. Well, now I've put about 500 rounds through it, practicing my draw and running accuracy and speed drills, and I have some thoughts. So honestly, getting used to how differently this thing shoots in comparison to my Glock was probably the most difficult part of this whole process. It's lighter, it's thinner, the grip angle is, well, it's not a Glock grip angle, so it's very different. Anytime I get a new gun and shoot it for the first time, it's always a bit of a letdown simply because it's so unfamiliar and so different. Unless you're buying a gun that's like the same brand but just a little bit of a different model. I honestly didn't shoot this thing very well at first. It wasn't snappy with bad recoil or anything, I just wasn't familiar with it. I went back to the range determined to break this gun in like a wild Mustang. I added this Sealy Cat X Pro red dot at the beginning of the session, and it honestly made a huge difference. Mostly just allowing me to see my mistakes when I would jerk the trigger. I'd be able to just watch the dot dip, which is a lot harder to do with iron sights. Sealy did send this one to me for free to test out, and honestly so far I've been really impressed with the way it functions. This one is the circle or circle dot or just the dot, and I prefer the circle without the dot in the middle because I feel like I can see the full target in the circle and I get pretty accurate hits that way. I started drawing and shooting while really pushing my speed to find what my limits were with this gun. I was still not shooting it like my Glock. Then after about 200 rounds, something changed. And as I got comfortable with my accuracy, I started going a little faster, and this happened. Ooh, trigger is a fast. 151 on 3 shots. This is the moment when I really started getting comfortable with the trigger. Yeah, buddy. I couldn't figure out why when I was drawing and firing 2 or 3 shots that I was missing with that first shot. I was missing high, which is kind of weird. I finally realized it was because the length of the trigger pull was much shorter than I'm used to. So the gun was going off before I was fully ready for it. Once I realized where the wall was, my accuracy and speed got way better. I started shooting this thing like I actually know how to shoot. The performance center trigger on this thing is incredible. It's way better than even my upgraded Glock trigger, which I paid like 150 bucks for.
Good God!
Which is still way better than the original Glock trigger, but this performance center trigger in the Shield is crazy. I think what surprised me the most is how much this gun feels bigger than it actually is. It's not snappy like so many other Micro 9s. Even with the smallest magazine, I mean, I've got small hands.
Might be small, but they're lethal weapons, these.
You got your mother's hands.
Even with the smaller magazine, I could still get a full grip, and I really didn't notice much of a difference in recoil between the larger mag and the flush mag. So what is it like to conceal carry this gun? It definitely conceals a little better than my Glock 19, but it's not a drastic difference. If you're thinking that you'll stick this gun on and it'll just disappear, there's a little more to it than that. But it does feel smaller and definitely lighter than my Glock 19. I will say that when I'm wearing this one in shorts somewhere that I really don't want to be spotted, it does feel much less obvious than the Glock 19. Gotta be honest about the stippling texture on the gun, it's a bit much for me. I stippled my Glock and I've carried it that way for several years, but this grip texture just is a little bit too aggressive. It's kind of scratchy against your skin, and even when you're holding it shooting, it just feels like it's way more texture than is necessary to get a good grip on the gun. I'll probably take some fine sandpaper and sand it down just a little bit, but for now I've just added some Goon grip tape, and I honestly can still feel some texture through the tape. So what are my honest thoughts on this gun for concealed carry?
I'll tell you.
Well, it took me some time and a whole lot of shooting this thing, but it really earned my respect. For a small gun, it's really not hard to get accurate shots at a distance, which is not always the case with micro 9s. Is it the most concealable gun? No, but it's definitely more concealable than a compact handgun like a Glock 19. And the different mags makes the size of the gun somewhat customizable since it adds or takes away from the length of the grip, which is really where concealment comes from. So where do I land on carrying it? Honestly, after getting more confident with it, I've now switched to carrying it over the Glock pretty much every day. Which is a little bittersweet for me since the Glock 19 has been my go-to for almost 8 years now. The trigger, the concealment, and the weight of the gun really make it hard to beat. But what do you think? Would you carry this gun? Let me know in the comments down below. If you gained value from this video, then don't forget to like and subscribe down below. And until next time, be alert, stand firm in your faith, be strong, be courageous, and let all that you do be done in love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.